On this week's episode, 5 stories from our Ghana community will be in our events roundup, while the week ending on November 5, 2017 shall be our Weekly Digest coverage. And Guider Emil San Juan will cap our week with another of his Just My Opinion. All this in just a moment. To all our viewers around the world, this is MNC, your Mavro News Channel.
We came to introduce a platform we are part of to you, and those who are willing to join will come on board. It's actually about liberating our finances.
That was Ghana's Guider Ekeri Monday during his opening message at an offline ideological presentation he and Team L organized for the people of Bad Huase on June 15 of this year. After his short welcome message, Guider Ekeri continued talking about the history of He described how started as an investment company in Russia and how it became a donation platform spanning the globe. He later on described how the donation exchange process works and the bonuses given to those who are willing to participate in the exchange. As he ended the discussion, they needed to move to another classroom as the one they were occupying that time had to be vacated. In there, Guider Ekeri and his team did the question and answer portion of their presentation. During this segment, he was able to explain further the steps in donation exchange, the absence of a central account in and the functions of the personal office. Before closing, Guider Ekeri shared how it is not a wise act for one to only have one source of finances. He positioned as one of the best options for them to have another source, and he added that they could do it by just using their spare funds. 2 days later, on June 17, it was Guider Derek Dune who was out and about in Vapaye, Accra for an offline presentation he organized with his team. It was an informal affair as the venue was at a local restaurant and they were just seated together in a long table. Armed with just his laptop, Guider Derek welcomed his guests to the gathering where he said there is an opportunity that will change their lives. He clarified outright, though, that is neither a business nor an investment, but as a community that provides peer-to-peer donation platform on different countries around the globe. He added that its main activities are focused on 2 things: provide help and get help. From there, Guider Derek moved on to talk about how the Mavro grows in the system. Guider Derek also introduced them to the Guider schooling and the extra privileges a Guider gets, such as the Guider bonus and funding for holding activities. He encouraged them as well to go to the website for more information and utilize the consultant chat should they have questions. His presentation was over in 18 minutes, and he welcomed questions from his guests while they shared pizza and drinks. Our News Digest for this edition will cover the week ending on November 5, 2017. Let's start with the news from the cryptocurrencies world. Bitcoin continued to strengthen its positions and beat records in the field of price and capitalizations. On November 5th, its rate exceeded $7,500, an increase by more than $1,000 from the previous week's price of $6,345. Bitcoin continued to strengthen its positions and beat records in the field of price and capitalization. On November 5th, its rate exceeded $7,500, an increase by more than $1,000 from the previous week's price of $6,345. Capitalization also reached $125 billion. This led the MMM administrators to recommend again the use of cryptocurrencies over banks, as it is faster and more profitable. Total capitalizations for the cryptocurrency market also reached the level of $200 billion that week. Bitcoin remains the leader with 61.2% of the market share. Exchange rates of other digital currencies also increased as Bitcoin price continued to surge. Before the week ended, the total cryptocurrencies volume had beaten its record and reached the level of $9.4 bin. R3, an international financial technological investigation company, syndicate that works on the application of the blockchain technology in the financial field and created the system for the transboundary payments, continued to invite different banks of the world to test it. On the first week of November this year, 22 large international banks have already committed to participate in this project. This new system is based on the smart contracts with the multi-profile open platform Corda created for the interaction of banks with the digital currencies. Representatives of the syndicate stated that nowadays international payments are expensive, require a lot of time, and senders of the payments are forced to trust the third parties that are responsible for the transactions. With the blockchain technology, a new opportunity to have a cheaper, faster, and more secure system of transfers have appeared. And now, here is our short review of the most interesting events that occurred in different MMM communities that week. The leaders of MMM Ecuador carried out a large-scale charity event for children who suffer from oncological diseases. A total of 50 boys and girls that were undergoing treatment received financial help and moral support from the community. The parents were thankful because it would help their kids as they tried to recover from their diseases. While in MMM Brazil, the system continued to develop quickly. Guiders carried out the active work in different directions, making the community even stronger. They made sure that prospects fully understood the ideology of the MMM community, its goals and history. During one of the events, 70 guests got t-shirts with the MMM logo. Also on that week, a new Guiders Center was inaugurated for all potential leaders. The Guiders held meetings as well for the coordination of further actions. MMM Peru continued to develop and strengthen too. They inaugurated a new comfortable office and local leaders created an interesting and creative advertising video to attract members to attend the Guiders School. As for MMM Egypt, the community continued to grow and become more active. Guiders held meetings with local inhabitants and explained the essence of the MMM ideology. Their thoroughness in answering even the complicated questions of their invites resulted to more new members signing up. And in MMM Philippines, they successfully celebrated 14 months of great work. The MMM participants from this country proved their uniqueness and also showed their understanding that the future of the community depends solely on its members. MMM India continued to show its high activity that week also. Local guiders got together in order to improve their work and discuss the plan for the further development of the community. The environment at the meetings was inspiring and guiders felt extremely positive with the ideas they were able to gather. MMM Australia published another tutorial video for the participants that week. In the video, the guiders explain how to find new referrals, present MM ideology, and what kinds of bonuses one can get for their structure. They discuss as well many important issues related to the community and principles of its work. Moving on to our communities in the African continent. MMM leaders from Kenya and Ghana doubled their efforts to invite new members to the community. They held a lot of offline events in different venues like offices, cafes, schools, and even outdoors. Also, leaders from Kenya carried out a charity event for homeless children. They presented gifts to the children and held special singing and dancing contests. The atmosphere was really exciting and can be observed from the laughter and happy faces of the children. And lastly, MMM RSA and MMM Zimbabwe continued to develop drastically and become stronger. The participants were extremely active in providing and getting help. It showed them.
Hi everyone, my name is Emil and you are watching another segment of Just My Opinion. During our last episode, I shared my insights about this trending topic pertaining to ICOs, and as I expected, we received different feedbacks from our audience. Some agreed with what I said, but some disagreed and explained their own thoughts. Well, whether you agree with it or not, here at MNC, we always value your feedbacks. For this week's episode, we have another exciting topic, and this will be about the ongoing issues about our frozen Mavro and MMM. If I remember it correctly, we had one segment before wherein we had a partial discussion why we are having delays recovering our old Mavros. Several months pass by and I continue my observation as to why it gets stuck for a long period of time. Now, let me share with you what I learned. First of all, we knew that our old Mavros are not that easy to recover. It is because our community relies on the actions of every participant involved. What I realized is that the difficulty of recovering the old Mavros was due to the fact that almost everyone in the community lost their focus after the pause mode. Instead of focusing on MMM, most participants affected tend to either totally stop from participating with MMM or they find other systems that are copied from MMM. It became a major concern because instead of participating in PHGH inside the community, what they do is to look for copycats and start promoting it. Some leaders actually gathered all their members and altogether transferred to a community they thought much better compared to MMM. Some of them earned, but many suffered great losses after 4 to 6 months' time. These copycats used the failure of MMM to attract the participants to join them. I will not mention any of these copycats, but as I observed, the longest system to exist that is copied from MMM only lasted for a maximum of 1 year. And much worse, after they got all the money of participants, nothing was heard from them, and their website was taken down, leaving no trace. Now, you might already guess what happened to those participants who got lost in the battle for the second time around. Most of them quit their journey for financial freedom and went back to being just a normal average person. So I guess even if MMM fails a lot of times, I can say it still stands and still exists. It's not perfect, but at least MMM is not running away. MMM is not like those copy systems that the only motive is to steal from people. So you might be asking, what is the best thing to do? Personally, I think if all the participants became united again and focused on regaining momentum, the possibility of recovering the old Mavros will be much, much higher. If all the participants will only avoid the distractions coming from these copy systems, MMM will become more stable and will be able to change more lives. Difficulties, challenges, and trials are normal, but if we stay together and look forward for a better MMM community, nothing is difficult and nothing is impossible. That's it for this week. I will see you again next week. This is Emil saying, remember that everything that I said in this video is just my opinion. Have a great day, guys, and Bye-bye.
With that, we end another edition of MNC, your Mavro News channel. We extend our greetings to our MMM participants in Myanmar for their Kayin New Year Day today, and to the community members who are in the Jewish faith as they celebrate Hanukkah. Happy holidays. Again, I am Mark. Always remember, together we change the world.